Let me call Kenny.
Dwayne says he can't log in. I'm trying to see.
Manage participants. Oh, there's 30.
Dwayne may not be able to log in because I didn't get the new number. Somebody sent it to me.
I just sent him the number too. I'm trying. He said he still can't get in.
You ready? All right. Hello? Hello?
Before we get started, can everybody put the background
We
on?
haven't started. Everybody
Mute it.
logging on. Try now.
Everybody mute their microphone.
Oh, I sent the email. You should have got it.
I'm gonna mute everyone. And then when you're ready to speak, everyone, council members, please unmute themselves, okay?
You ain't the boss of me, man.
Is there a particular setting for video?
You could either enable it or disable it. That's it.
I'm gonna send you the what you call
Steve,
it?
you trying to tell me what to do in my own house,
Advertisement.
man? It's crazy, man.
All right.
Hey, man.
I'll send you that on your phone right now.
Sorry. I'm definitely on mute.
Hello?
This is Carl. I'm having trouble making the video start. I'm here on audio.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on Tush right now.
Robert, I'm on.
Oh, okay, great.
Video settings.
Everyone's got to enable their video, please.
Kenny, you there?
Yeah, I don't know why I keep hanging up.
JR, are you there, JR?
Can you hear me?
I think the only one we're missing.
Hear me?
Who's that?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. Gilda, are you here? Gilda.
Yes, I'm here, Robert.
All right. Everybody's here. All right. The Common Council, East Chicago Common Council meeting, a regular meeting for Monday, May 11th, 2020 is in session. Can you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
Under God, indivisible, liberty
and liberty and justice for all. Clerk, roll call.
First Councilwoman Monica Gonzalez.
Present.
Second District Councilman Lenny Francisci.
Present.
Third District Councilman Terrence Hill. Third District Councilman Terrence Hill. Fourth District Councilwoman Stacy Winfield.
Present.
Present.
Sixth District Councilwoman Gilda Orange.
Present.
Councilman at Large Dwayne Rancifer.
Present.
Councilman at Large Emiliano Perez.
Present.
Councilman at Large Kenneth Monroe.
Present.
Council President Robert Garcia.
Present. Clerk, any minutes of the council meeting?
No.
No. All right. Any communication from the mayor?
No.
So Wayne is here. This is Carla Morgan talking. We're here to talk about things that are later on the agenda. So I just thought I'd announce that we're here.
Okay. Any communication from the mayor at the present time? Hearing
No.
none. Any communication from department heads?
Yes. Accounts payable warrant 033120 CB 041420 CC 051120 BD 051120 CC 051120 LA.
So move, Mr. President.
Second.
Motion made
Second.
by Lenny Francisci, who was seconded by
Coach.
Hilda.
Coach Kenny Monroe. Any questions?
No.
Hearing no questions, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Francisci,
Yes.
Francisci, Hill,
Yes.
Yes, however,
Winfield,
I would like to abstain on, hello? Yes, I would say yes, however, I would like to abstain on 051120 CC.
okay, Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Rancifer,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Garcia.
No.
Payroll warrant biweekly 050120 and payroll warrant monthly 050120.
So moved, Mr. President.
Moved by Kenny Monroe. Is there a second? Second by
Second,
Edmira Perez. Any questions? Hearing no questions, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Francisci,
Yes.
Hill,
yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Rancifer,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Any committee reports?
Well, he have two more payrolls.
She should have said both of them.
No, she only said one.
I said both.
You said both? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes.
My fault.
Any committee reports? No committee reports, any board reports? Hearing no board reports, any ordinances on first reading?
Yes. Ordinance 20-0006, sponsor Councilman Terrence Hill. An ordinance reclassifying certain land in the city of East Chicago for zoning purposes and amending ordinance number 2752 and Title 17 of the East Chicago Municipal Code, the zoning ordinance, and all maps, amendments, and additions thereto, repealing all other ordinance in conflict therewith, rezoning the former West Calumet East Chicago housing site and Goodman Park.
Is there a motion?
Make a motion to move. However, can I move to first and second reading, please?
Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
All right. Motion made by Mr. Hill, Councilman Hill, seconded by Lenny Francisci. Any questions on the matter?
Yeah, I got a question, Mr. President.
Yes, go ahead.
Are we letting the residents know in that area what we're doing or what's going to be there, or how are they going to be notified?
Well, yes, I can, Mr. President.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Councilman Ransford, I spoke with a lot of them, and just like the letter that I emailed each one of you, I mailed out letters to the residents out here in the 3rd district, and I had to respond to them. So we were supposed to have a presentation, but then Corona came, so that's the reason I had to mail out those letters. So they are aware.
Okay,
Most of them are aware.
Yes, Kenny.
I think, really honestly, I appreciate what Mr. Hill is doing, but I think we ought to have some type, or when this thing slide down a little bit, some type of community meeting to really see how they feel. This is a big project, and it is in the area. That's just my thought.
Any other comment?
Mr. President.
I have a comment, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Perez.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I mean, I know I got a presentation from the mayor's office. You know, it's a very good presentation. However, in subsequently, I've talked to a lot of the residents over there, fielded a lot of phone calls, and feel that there's still a lot of unanswered questions that need to be asked, particularly giving them an opportunity to speak up. I don't think that the community feels that they've had the opportunity to be heard. I'm not opposed to the project. Let me just be clear with that. I've shared prior to the council meeting to Councilman Hill and let him know not that I'm opposed to it. I just don't think that we have to rush into approval without giving the community a sense that they have buy-in into this. And I personally would like to see this thing tabled to the next meeting. Give us a couple weeks to sort through this. I actually like to make a motion to table it if I can. It would be an appropriate time.
Is there a second on the motion?
Second.
Motion made by Mr. Perez, seconded by Kenny Monroe.
You know, can I say something, Mr. President?
Yes.
See, now I don't understand these councilmen at large. You know, was given a presentation. You said some people calling you all. I'm the councilman of the district, and some of those individuals call me. How come you all didn't address those individuals and talk to me about it? You know, this is my district, and I think it's something that is going to be beneficial to my district, and it's going to be beneficial for the whole citizens of East Chicago. Everybody has something to say, but when the complex was out there, I guarantee you half of them people didn't even come to the complex. All they did was complained about the complex. I saw this complex, the other one being demolished. I saw the other one being built. I saw that one being demolished. Now I want to see another one going to be built that's going to benefit the community in a lot of other ways. Because all they did was complain about the former Calumet complex out there. And half of you guys, I guarantee you didn't come out there. Thank you.
Any other comments? Anybody got any more comments?
Just a question. Will the table actually impact the time frame? Because I'm definitely all for the project, but I would like to see some community input from it. So my question is whether or not the table will impact the time frame.
I can address that if you recognize me.
Well, all right. Well, go ahead, Ms. Morgan.
Okay, we have developer Brett Hickman on the call. We also have the attorney for Housing Authority, Jewel Harris, on the call. And they can talk about the time sensitivity of this, and it is very time sensitive. So can they have permission to speak briefly on
yes.
that? Okay, Attorney Harris,
who's first?
do you want to take that?
Yes. I'll go first and let Mr. Hickman piggyback my comments. So I am familiar with the agreement as the attorney for the Housing Authority. And right now we are in the last leg of the due diligence period for the deal. And the concern that we've got from the Housing Authority perspective is that the due diligence period will expire and potentially jeopardize the deal. And obviously Mr. Hickman can speak to that himself because obviously they're the purchasers. But from our perspective, we want to make sure that we're able to get through this due diligence period timely, so that we don't jeopardize the transaction. And moreover, there is a carrying cost associated with us maintaining this property and us having no revenue being generated from it. There's insurance costs, and obviously there's safety concerns as well. So for us, we have every interest in moving forward. My understanding is that a meeting such as this is the opportunity for the public to participate and comment, as opposed to some other type of forum or event. That's what these meetings are for. And I'll let Mr. Hickman piggyback on those comments.
Thank you, Mr. Harris.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to be heard. This is Brett Hickman. My partner, Steve Riddell, is on the phone, but I don't think you can hear him. He's having some problems with the audio. Tabling this meeting and this reading to a future date would negatively impact the project in the sense that it's just delaying what's going to happen. We do have a time-sensitive due diligence period under our contract with the city. We also have a number of meetings set up with the parties that are responsible for the cleanup. And with the EPA, those meetings are difficult to get. They've been scheduled, but they're scheduled to be taking place during this process and will have to be delayed in and of themselves. As Attorney Harris mentioned, there are carry costs involved with this. We have engineers involved, both civil and environmental, and other consultants involved on the project. And delaying this just increased the cost and delays our ability to get started on the project. And actually could run up in, depending upon the period of the delay, could run into causing project delays because of weather and related matters later in this year and the additional upcoming meetings. So to the extent we can resolve this first reading or second reading tonight, I would hope that we would get that done rather than tabling this to a future date and starting the process over. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Yes, Mr. President. Yeah,
Hold on, let me give somebody else a chance, Mr. Hill. Any other comments or any other councilman? Hearing none, go ahead, Mr. Hill.
Mr. President, I had a question.
Yes.
What is the deadline for the, they say there's time sensitive. What deadline would we be missing if we let it go for 2 weeks?
Can I speak, Mr. Chair?
Yes. Yes.
So we are in the last 30 days of a 90-day due diligence period. We are less than 14 days from the deadline. The way the agreement reads, I can't see exactly what that date is, but I can tell you that we're within 7 to 10 days of that as we sit today. There are several things that trigger the deadlines, not specific dates, so that's why the only reason I'm not being specific. Everything is written in the agreement to be so many days from a certain date, and that's how the timelines read. So knowing that we were starting with an initial due diligence period of 90 days, we're within between 7 and 10 days of a deadline here. And that's the concern that we've got if we're running up on the expiration of that due diligence period. Not to mention the fact that on Mr. Hickman's end, they as developers need to deal with regulatory issues. Those deadlines I'm not familiar with. That's on their end of the deal.
Mr. Hill.
Yeah, one more thing. Like I say, I've talked to several people that lives here in the community, and they think it's a good idea. We have the support from the Ministers of Alliance. There were a lot of individuals that sent in some positive comments to the planning meeting. So all those who got something to say, I'm just appalled that no one called me to hear my side of it, since it's out here in the 3rd district, which some of you all don't come or don't like to come to. But now we got some positive coming to it. And I think we should vote on it to not to table it, and to let's keep this project moving forward.
Any other comments?
I do. I have one.
Yes. Ms. Gonzalez.
I'm looking at this, and I understand, Mr. Hill, but I can't, in my right mind, vote yes on this right now until I have more answers. I'm going to table it. I'm not going to go forward with this until I get some answers that I feel comfortable with. And we receive emails all the time, not just in your district. I understand,
I think this is a number about color.
Mr. Hill, respect Ms. Gonzalez, please.
I receive emails all the time, and
Okay.
I received a few yesterday and today that it's just concerns. And like I said, I can't vote yes to this without having those concerns answered. We're going to rezone this whole area, and it's going to be M1, which is light industrial. That means there's nothing for housing. And I thought when we initially had that presentation, they talked about housing, some housing, some light industrial. There's nothing on here. Once we turn it into light industrial, that's it. So I cannot, like I said, in my good conscience, vote yes to this right now. That's not to say later on, but until I get the questions answered.
Mr. President, could I speak on the housing?
Yes, Mr. Hill.
Okay, as of last week, myself and James, the building commissioner, went throughout the Calumet area, and he pointed out to me all the areas in which we're going to build homes. The city has over 100 lots that they own. A lot of them are in the Calumet area, and we're going to start building model homes throughout the Calumet area, affordable homes. I have a copy of the model, and if you want to know what the models look like, if you're on your way to the Fern Oak Cemetery, once you turn down that one street where the Walgreens is on the way to the cemetery, if you look to the right side, you see all those new homes. Those are the type of homes that they're going to be putting throughout the Calumet area, and it's going to be several of them. Thank you.
All right. Any other comments?
Councilman? Yes.
Yes,
Council President?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
so in reference to the housing, I'm not understanding why, with all that poison that was out there, and they can clean it up to native sands all they want, it doesn't make a difference. Poison is poison, and if it goes to the water table, that's it. Why anybody would want any houses put back on West Calumet? Must never have lived there, and I think it's horrible even to suggest that houses be put back there. That's horrible for anybody to even think that housing should go there. Scatter site housing in the other zones, maybe, but never anything back on West Calumet. I think the housing director is on the line, and I'd also like to bring her on, but I don't understand that they fought to get the lead cleaned up, but then they want to put housing back on there. That makes no sense whatsoever, because forever and a day, people will always wonder if that lead will ever come back. So to put light industrial is better than to be even thinking about putting any homes on there. And I'm asking if Council President, if you would give the housing director a chance to, I would like to ask her a couple of questions.
Yes, go ahead.
Tia, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, are you guys planning on building houses back at West Calumet?
She's muted.
There will never be houses on Zone 1.
Did you guys hear that? Can you repeat that, Ms. Carly?
Yeah.
Tia Carly, can you repeat that, please?
I don't know if she muted or
She
not.
needs it on.
Why would she?
Well, what she said is that in Zone 1, there would not be no housing. So she just wanted to be clear on that. On Zone 1, there would be no housing.
He said never.
But no housing.
No.
If I may, that's because the EPA made a decision to clean up to a maximum of 2 feet. That does not meet the Indiana Residential Building Code, where foundations have to go down at least 3 feet. So you could never build residential there, and that was the EPA's decision. We lost that fight, fought real hard. We lost that fight. So here we are, we're trying to take the lemon, make lemonade out of it. Here's the perfect opportunity for everybody to ask questions. Mr. Hickman's here, Attorney Harris is here, Ms. Colley's here. Your questions can be answered. Any questions that weren't answered in those previous Zoom conferences, where you all got the presentation. We have the presentation, we can show it, and you have the perfect group of people here to answer those questions. But again, that was an EPA decision not to clean it up to what we thought was a satisfactory residential standard. That was not our decision. So we're taking what they decided. They finalized that decision this past March. Nobody challenged it. The tag didn't challenge it. We have fought it for years. So here we are. The parties are here that can answer your questions. I could go into more detail, but I don't think you hear it from me.
I have something to say.
Yes.
When we first had the presentation, nobody was there besides Mr. Bennett, the mayor, Carla. If we would have had that presentation with all these people here that are now, we would have been able to make a better decision than right now. You can't just come here today and say, okay, here it is, they're all here. That presentation was very brief, and we didn't have, everything in front of us, and we still don't. And I don't like that you go ahead and you have everybody here, but we should have had that presentation a month ago when at the very beginning. So you can't expect us to make a really good decision on something that we should have had a month ago. And I'm not going to deviate from that decision. I don't like the way it's being presented. And I think you just need to take into consideration everything before you come before the council like that and just expect us to make a rash decision when we don't have all the information.
Councilman Hill.
Yeah, Mr. President, I understand what you're saying, Ms. Monica. As you know, several weeks ago, I emailed all of you all a letter, and if you had any concerns, to get in touch with me, then I possibly could have got in touch with Mr. Bradman and Steve, and he could have gave us a personal presentation, but I haven't heard from anyone up until today. And
the problem with that is that it's COVID-19.
Ms. Gonzalez, yeah.
Okay. It's the COVID-19. We can't. It's hard.
Let me finish. And I emailed it to you all in ample enough time. I even called you, and you say you received it. Now, if you had any questions, you could address them to me then, and I could have most definitely made contact with the powers that be, and we could have had a nice presentation done before us. But no one even reached out to me and confirmed that they received the email or anything. And I thought that was slapping my face. I'm giving you all information, and yet you receive it, but nobody confirmed that you have it. But then we come today, and everybody has questions.
Any other questions?
I thought I did the right thing. I let you all know. I didn't bring it to you all blind.
All right, Mr. Hill. Any other questions?
I have a comment. I have a comment, Mr. Garcia. Mr. President.
Yes, go ahead, Mr. Perez.
Yeah, at least from my perspective, and the reason for tabling this has got very little to do with not wanting the project on the land. It's the community, from my understanding, has not been given a fair opportunity to be heard. And all I'm saying, just like Monica was saying, we deserve a little bit better than to rush this when there's still answers out there. That we're going to make a decision that's going to last a lifetime. And I find it hard to believe that we can't wait 14 days to go ahead and have another vote on this and just table it for 14 days and let everything clear up. That's my position.
But
Ms. Morgan, you just can't interrupt, Ms. Morgan. Lenny Francisco, you got the floor.
And I'll just go with Councilman Rancifer. In 14 days, what are you going to accomplish? Are you going to have a public meeting, even though we have this virus going on? Or are we just going to sit for another 14 days? That's what I'm saying. You're going to set up a community meeting in 14 days?
We can't.
What are you going to do? I'm just saying, I mean, hey, if you're going to table a table, but what's going to be done in 14 days?
All right.
Well, I can speak for myself. I can speak for myself. I'll do my due diligence and get the answers that I need to make a proper vote.
All right. Just to say my part on it, I think that it needs to be more information that needs to be brought forth. that presentation. Unfortunately, under this pandemic, we're operating under this pandemic, which causes chaos to this process that we're trying to do. I understand there wasn't too many input from the community. I know I got a call from Lanny Randolph today. He's opposed to this project. And he wanted me to publicly say that also. But I also got a letter that I'm gonna read from the CAG. And it says, in the conversation with the city clerk's office today, the East Chicago Calumet Coalition Community Advisory Group has made aware that the Common Council will not be taking comments from the public in its meeting on Monday, which is scheduled to include consideration of the ordinance to rezone the former West Calumet housing complex that was recommended for approval by the Plan Commission on May 4th. Considering the vital importance of this issue to many members of the community and the Plan Commission lack of adequate consideration of concerns of the public, as discussed in our comments sent to the council on May 7th and established and attached to this email, the CAG urges the Common Council to reconsider this position and let the voices of the community be heard. While the council does have discretion in deciding whether to take public comment under the Chicago Municipal Code and hold a public hearing at the start of its meeting on the Chicago Municipal Commission Code, this issue, which is vital importance of the community, as well as the Plan Commission, is failure to address the public comments necessary to the council to exercise the discretion in favor of taking public comments. Just based on what's been going on, I plan all the council meetings from now on, I will be at the council chambers. So if anybody wants to have public comment, they could come to the council chambers and have any public comment. So the next meeting we have on Zoom, I'll be at the common council. Anybody wants any comments, they could come to the council meeting and have a comment. But I think operating in this pandemic has been pretty hectic. I know the presentation, we didn't get too much information as far of giving us more information. I think it's unfair to come to us at the last minute and say, you must pass this. It's totally unfair to this council.
Mr. President.
Yes.
You know what, like I said before, each and every one of you all had a letter that I sent. Why didn't no one contacted me? So this could have been resolved a long time ago, but no one gave me the respect to even give me a call. And just tell me why, who out of 8 of you all, why can't somebody comment on that?
Well, Mr. Hill, one thing I can tell you, you're not the owner of this project. Mr. Hill, I got the floor, Mr. Hill. Mr. Hill, I have the floor.
No, I just asked a
Mr.
question.
Hill, Mr. Hill, I got the floor. Mr. Hill, point of order. Point of order.
I asked you a question.
Point of order.
I gave you some order. I asked you a question. You can't respond to my question.
No, you're talking over me. You can't talk over me. I'm trying to answer.
Go ahead. Say what you got to say. But I don't think it's fair.
Councilman Hill, there you go. Councilman Hill, this is not your project, all right? The owners got to knock the question. The owners, Mr. Hill, you can't continue interrupting.
But don't tell me, I know it's not my project.
Yes, well, the thing is, that's what you got to understand.
That's the wrong word.
The owners have to answer to this project. Any other questions?
I have one if
yes.
I could.
Council President.
Yes, Miss Orange.
Okay, so I think that since there is a time constraint here, that if we pass it on first and second, have a public hearing before the next meeting, because they don't have to pass it on third if they don't want it, and so they can move along, have a public hearing before the next meeting, and then the councilmen that have concerns can call these people that Jewel Harris and Mr. Hickman and all them ask all the questions that they want to ask, and then come back with a positive answer. I don't think you have to table it in order to get the answers. We still have 2 weeks in before we do the third reading. But I think that you could give them the public a chance, since you say you're going to be at the council meetings, they can Zoom, they can be all in the lobby talking. But this is just a project. But this thing with West Calumet been going on for the last 20 years. It ain't just started. It's just now a decision has been made on Zone 1. And I think that to table it, it's like Lenny said, you're not gonna get more than 2 weeks. If you pass it in 2 weeks, then that's fine. If you don't, then that's fine. Then you give a chance for the public to talk, and then for the councilmen to have concerns, they give them a chance to find out what they want to know.
Mr. Chairman, this is Brett Hickman. May I be heard?
Yeah, go ahead.
I would kind of like the approach that was just proposed, and that is, there is another reading after this. Rather than postpone this, I would prefer to go forward with your process, and we'll make ourselves available for conference calls or whatever. And if we need to, we can make ourselves available at the next meeting in a couple of weeks in East Chicago so that we can answer any questions and talk to anybody you need us to talk to in the interim. We have met with a number of your citizens there. And we'd be more than happy to talk on the phone or in person when we get up there. But either way, it'd be nice if the process could go forward so that we could meet some of the deadlines we have and continue the process. If I go to the EPA and I go to the PRPs and I go to my developers and I go to everybody in our process and say, we're putting it on hold for 2 weeks, and that continues, that's just really going to put a stop on the project. If we could continue now and then have another reading and have you have time to get your answers in the interim, that would help facilitate this done. And it doesn't require you to vote one way or the other on the final action.
Any other questions?
Mr. President.
Yes,
Mr.
hold
President?
on. Hold on, Mr. Perez. Councilman Rancifer, are you there? Councilman Rancifer.
Yes, I am.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know if I lost you, if you had a question.
No, I'm with going with the first reading, and if but I don't know if it's time for that. So.
Okay, Mr. Perez.
Okay, in the spirit of cooperation, I think I can withdraw my tabling if the council president would commit to having a public meeting for hearings on this project with the public. Whether it's through Zoom or through however, my goal here is to let the public be heard, not to block the project. So I would support withdrawing my table motion, passing it on first and second, but understand that if there's no public meeting and the public doesn't get an opportunity to speak, then I would vote no on the third reading.
Thank you.
So if that's agreeable to you, Mr. President, and you can put together a public hearing on this, I will withdraw my motion.
Well, it's more dependent. It's not dependent on me. It's more than me because it has to do with the city having this public this session. So it's not 100% totally on me. So how we're gonna get this done? It falls back on business and planning.
I think you got everybody here that they could say yes right now. Let's put them on the spot.
Yeah, I think we have the developer. I think we have Ms. Morgan here. She can probably speak for the administration. And if they agree to, participate in the public meeting to let the public be heard, then again, I'd be more than happy. Like I said, and I called Mr. Hill prior to the meeting to let him know I'm not opposed to the project. I have a concern that the people haven't been heard. And I think that we owe the people that. So.
Yeah. Ms. Morgan.
Yes.
You heard the request from Councilman Perez. Is that doable?
Absolutely. And I'll go a step further and make myself available to answer you all's questions about how things work with the EPA's decision and the developer coming in and making this offer. So if you all want to know more about that, we could either do that at the public hearing, separately with you all, however you want that to work. But I think that's an important piece to understand what we went through over these years, asking for that to be really cleaned up to the standard we were hoping for, and then how things developed after we were told absolutely no way is it going to go that way. So again, we took you know, Mr. Hickman made an offer, and here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just this pandemic, the way is everything's panning out with this pandemic, but usually we do get something from business and planning, more detail, also a presentation to the council. So that presentation that we did in groups was not really a presentation that we could ask questions to the owner and stuff like that. We have Steve Dawn here our financial consultant that probably might have some questions. Our lawyer might have some questions. So there's a lot to this that was not moving altogether. So yeah, we need to put that together there.
Mr. President.
Yes, everybody, the whole council is going to be part of it.
Council President?
Yes.
Okay, so I think that the way this should work is that you should be the one that set up the meeting, whether it's through Zoom. We can't have a meeting, a public meeting in an area, but you can set it up through Zoom. I think that since the council has the question, we should not leave it to anybody else to say that nobody showed up, nobody came, or whatever. We should set a meeting date. Everybody should be there. And if they're not there, then we know. But I think that you should be the one to set up the meeting.
Well, I can set up the meeting, but I need their participation, Mr. Hickman's participation, business and planning participation. So it's more than me just setting up a meeting. That's the easy part.
Mr. President?
Yes.
If I can suggest that we just tentatively schedule that meeting for next Monday, that way we can ask the developer right now, can he attend next Monday?
There you go.
Yeah. Mr. Hickman.
And that way, if there's any issues that come up next Monday, we got 7 days to resolve them.
Yeah. Mr. Hickman.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear that request for Monday next week?
Yes, sir. We can make ourselves available for that.
6 p.m. All right. I will drop the meeting for Zoom. Please have a presentation ready.
Ready now.
I have a point of clarification. Are we going to allow public participation?
Yes, I'm gonna be at the council chambers.
Okay.
Well, you know, so we'll notify everybody. Any comments? This is the time to make them.
Then I withdraw my motion to table.
All right. Motion withdrawn.
Mr. President?
Yes. Ms. Winfield?
Yes.
Yes.
So thank you for going into the council chambers for that. And that gives, I'm pretty sure with social media, with ECTV, they'll be able to let the residents know about that. So if they come, if you have them spaced out to speak. And also, Councilman Hill, I did refer someone to speak to you. So you did speak to someone about the project. So when they came to me, I referred them to Mr. Hill to call back and speak to the gentleman. I also would like them, when they do the presentation, discuss how they said they were not going to have housing in West Calumet in Zone 1, but there was going to be housing back where they had demolished properties like on Alexander, McCook, Melville, and it would be an opportunity for the residents of Calumet to be moved back into the area, not just on low income. So I think that needs to be stressed to the residents to know that it's not just for anyone. They are offering the residents that have left West Calumet an opportunity to be able to move back. That was some of the questions that I had, not making it just low income, but for moderate or whether they high income, but long as they are residents that moved away from East Chicago, Calumet area, they would be able to move back into that area. So I would like that to be answered. I hear the developer is on there, and that was something that we couldn't get the definite answer to, but if you could just take heed to that question that I'm asking.
Yep. Did you hear that, Mr. Hickman?
I did. It was a little garbled. Could you repeat it for me?
Okay, I'm hold on one second. I'm asking that, I know you all are going to be building in the Calumet area, in that zone, but due to you removing the housing in the Zone 1, residents have moved out of the Calumet area. A lot of buildings have been demolished, homes were demolished. I'm asking that it not just be for low income, but the average homeowner, will be able to move back into the community. Can you hear me? I don't know.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. President, this is Tia Cawley.
Hey, Tia, go ahead.
Okay, my phone was breaking up and I apologize.
No problem, Ms. Cawley.
In zone 2 and 3, we have a non-for-profit, which one of the non-for-profits right now is purchasing Cardinal Terrace to be able to have properties in West Calumet. And in zone 2 and 3, Metro will be a part of, with HUD, building some new construction with some of the local developers as well as other people once it's bidded out to be able to come in and bid once the areas are cleaned up. The mayor and some of us have been traveling to look at properties to see what the future of it was, and we have applied for grants just like we did Washington Square. We partnered with Frank Rivera, and that's how you had those last 2 homes that was built. So just so you would be informed, there will be new construction for zone 2 and 3, not necessarily all low public housing, but it will be houses that are not necessarily even with a basement, because you have to be careful. Some of the people in zone 1, well, not in zone 1, I'm sorry, in zone 3, they were saying how the lead is, after they had everything cleaned up, everything was okay. Now with it rain and things, and they get their homes washed, they see that they have some unnecessary problems. They may have lead again. I mean, Housing Authority has a lot of lawsuits right now with West Calumet. If it was a reason for us to be able to keep them, Housing Authority would have kept all those properties, all 346. You're looking at the fact all of our properties were paid for. We went into a coronavirus 2 years ago when we had to move everybody out and lost everything, including the lawsuits, including some of the better residents that you could probably ask for from anywhere. And we've had residents that say they hate to have left housing. Some of them liked us, some of us didn't. Some of the residents didn't like us. But one thing for sure, they knew it was a gated community, and it was a better community, and a better community than a whole lot of public housing. So with that being said, we've reached out to HUD, the EPA, and we've told them this. I've told the residents probably like last year. I didn't know who they believed or what they heard, but I told them that we were never going to build any more public housing in zone 1.
My understanding as well is that the city is trying to deal with that issue in zone 2 and 3, and that they have a lot of property there to develop. I've been advised that this is not, to answer part of your question, this is not going to be affordable housing in the old sense. It's more designed to be housing that is affordable. I think that's the goal here. And I think that the city can speak to that better than we can, but we can speak to how our project works hand in hand with that, and what we're going to do to participate in that project as well. I did want to clarify one thing, Mr. Chairman. Next Monday's meeting, we were going to do that electronically and be there on the 26th. Did you want one of us or both of us at your meeting next Monday, the public meeting, or can we do that electronically? Just need to clarify, because we may be able to have one there next week, but we can both be there for the 26th. Or 27th.
We need some type of presentation for Monday. I don't know if you could do it electronically. I think it'd be better if you do it there. I'll be at the city council chambers, and then all the members will also log in.
Okay, we will try and have at least one person there next Monday, and then at the next council meeting on, I guess it'll be the 27th after the holiday.
Correct.
We try both Steve and I be there.
Yeah, I just asked all my colleagues that if you have any questions, please email them prior to this. So if he needs to get back to you before Monday's presentation, or if you have any additional questions, he can answer them. Any other questions?
Council President, is
Yes.
Mr. Buscemi on the, is he present?
I'm here, Councilman.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Okay, I have a question if it's okay, Council President.
Yes, go ahead.
Mr. Buscemi, for the motion we made on first and second, can Mr. Hill include that we have a public hearing in that motion?
He can amend the motion to include a requirement for a Monday, May 18, 6 p.m. public hearing conducted by the Common Council.
Mr. Hill, do you want to include that?
You want to make that motion?
Yes, I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Is a first and a second? Any questions on that motion to include that
Mr.
amendment?
President. Mr.
Yes.
President,
Yes.
comment for the good of the order. The mandatory social distancing requirements are still in effect at this time, and they will still be in effect next Monday, May 18th. I would
Yes.
suggest that the meeting be convened as we have been convening our April and May city council meetings. I think it should be convened primarily as a Zoom meeting with a public invitation so that any member of the public can participate via Zoom and via electronically. We do not want to have the council in a position where we are sponsoring a public meeting where there is a gathering at City Hall that goes against the social distancing requirements. So I think the primary focus should be that the May 18 meeting will be via the Zoom format, and every member of the public, if the council wishes, will have an opportunity to participate in that way. And you can, as the president of the council, control public comment and allow speakers to speak one at a time as you normally would.
Correct. All right, there's a motion made. It was first and second. Any other questions on that motion to amend? Hear none. Roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Rancifer,
Yes.
Perez,
JR?
Yes, yes, I'm sorry, I was on mute.
Monroe,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Any other questions on the first motion to pass it on first and second reading? Any other questions? Hear none. Roll call.
I'm sorry. Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Rancifer,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Any ordinances on second reading?
No.
Any ordinances on third reading?
No.
Yes.
There's no ordinance on third reading.
No.
Well, wait a minute.
We
right,
do have
Go ahead.
we do have a consideration of ordinance 20-003 vetoed by mayor.
Is there a motion to override the mayor's veto?
I make a motion to override the mayor's veto.
So moved.
Moved by Councilman Monroe, second by Councilman Hill. Any questions?
I'll make the
Any
motion.
questions? Hearing no questions, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
No.
Rancifer,
No.
Perez,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Any resolutions?
Yes. Resolution 20-0005, sponsor Mayor Anthony Copeland, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of East Chicago authorizing a temporary transfer to the Department of Waterworks depleted funds for emergency repair and contractual services.
Is there a motion to pass resolution?
So moved.
Motion made by Councilwoman Orange, second by Councilman Monroe. Any questions on the resolution? I know we have Weena here probably to talk about it. Hello, Weena.
Hi, good evening, council members. For the record, we Guzman, Water Department Director. This resolution is for temporary transfer of $2 million from the city's general fund to the Department of Waterworks to fund several items. I provided a breakdown of the items relating to this request and for your reference. So some of the items are to cover unanticipated or unexpected expenses relating to emergency water repairs and leaks and roadwork repairs. Cover cost of hiring an engineering firm specializing in water systems and operations, control and potentially eliminate water breaks in the future, and cost to secure and have readily available inventory such as pipes, including various sizes of water main piping, valves, hydrants, etc., in effort to provide continuation of water in emergency situations and naturally emergency care. I just wanted the council to consider it's much needed. We need to pay some of these bills that are outstanding, and I'm requesting respectfully that the council approve this.
Any questions? Any questions? I understand this is a loan, correct, Mr. Dalton?
That is correct, Mr. President. This is a temporary loan that will be paid back by the end of the year.
Okay, and that's what I read. Ms. Guzman, Weena Guzman, I understand that. Do you have any present projects right now that this money is going to cover?
Well, yes, it's kind of, I spelled them out. Actually, some of them are already completed. If you recall, I came before the board a couple of months ago regarding there was two big, large projects that were completed. The 4506 Klein Avenue, the 24-inch phase one, we had two insert valves. That was a $255,000 job. We had the one on Guthrie Street. That's another big project. That was 154. Actually, it was more, but some of the cost was covered by a different department for the road work. Yeah, and a lot of these under HASI, they've been completed. All the jobs have been completed. Under Calumet City, that work was completed already. Actually, under HASI, there's the phase two of 4506 Klein Avenue that hasn't been completed because we do not have funds to get a PO for that, but the water leak has been controlled due to the valves being inserted. We also have, let me see, Hessville too. We have a lot of emergency breaks that they've covered as well. So that's a
There you go.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
So hydrant flushing, that's one of the projects that we're going to be working on this year. And also replacing hydrants as well. We'll be doing that. That's an upcoming project.
Does this cover on Guthrie Street too?
Yes, it does. Yes, and I provided that information to you, as well as all the addresses where these related items are for.
Yeah, because I know this project on Guthrie's been what, almost 2 years. What have we paid?
No, that's not relating to. This is relating to the break near the fire
Written in
station.
my text. All happened as I raised.
All right.
It's on Michigan and Guthrie, right?
Yeah.
Right in the area, yes, but not the whole entire road
Okay.
work for Guthrie. No, it's a totally
Right.
different project.
I know nobody could foresee emergencies. They just come up. I know we had those big two that we had. Is this going to be enough to the end of the year?
Well, this will cover a lot of the bills that we have outstanding. I just want to note, I may come back and ask for additional funds to assist us. So right now, this is going to cover what we need. I did receive 2 other bills just Friday, but I'll be working with Mr. Bennett on that to see and build them.
Okay. I just asked everybody if they could shut off their background noise, because we're getting too much background noise. So if you could please control that. All right. Mr. Dalton and Mr. Buscemi, have any questions?
Nothing, Mr. President.
No, I'm good, Mr. President.
Any other council got any questions? Roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski, Franciski,
Lenny.
No, I had to unmute. Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Stacy.
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Rancifer,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes.
Monroe, Garcia.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, Winner. Going on to old business. Any old business? No old business. Any new business?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Hill.
First of all, I'd like to thank all my colleagues, for one thing. And the other one, I'd like to give condolences to my dear friend, Carla Dunlap, who passed away last Thursday. And she also was my committeeman vice. She was my vice committeeman. So I was giving condolences to her and her family.
Mr. Hill, please pass that on. Also, she was a dear friend to a lot of us on this council.
Yeah.
She's going to be sorely missed.
Thank you.
Any other old business? There are none new business.
I thought that was new business.
New business. Any new business? Well, I got some just one thing I wanted to try to do under this pandemic here. I know the governor has trying to open certain things and stuff. I don't know how the city are we going to try to monitor that as far as certain business opening up and how we're going to monitor that. So I'd like to get a letter to the health department to see what their game plan is under this pandemic with this opening with the governor that he had opening the state up and with certain businesses. Second, I was told that we're paying prompt ambulance service now. If that's the case, Attorney Buscemi and Mr. Steve Dawn, if we get a copy of that contract, because I don't know why we should be paying prompt when we got rid of when the mayor got rid of the ambulance service. Also, like I said, I plan to be at the council chamber for our next meeting in case we have more public input. But anybody else have new business?
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
Yes, I got several calls about this trucking company over in the across from Riley Park at 1110 148th, where they come out of there and they travel through the neighborhood. And a lot of residents would like to see that stop and where they can take another route and get on Klein Avenue instead of coming through the residence.
Yes, Attorney Buscema, who should you talk to?
Chief of Staff.
Chief of Staff?
Okay.
You,
Yes, sir.
any other new business? Hearing none? Any public expression? None?
Yes, I do.
Motion to adjourn?
Rodriguez?
Hold on, we got a public comment. Go ahead.
Yes,
Hold on,
Henry Rodriguez.
Let me get my, hold on, Henry. Let me get my
All right.
stopwatch.
Your timer, yeah.
Yep.
Let me know.
All right, start, 3 minutes.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank the council members, Gilda Orange from the 6th District and Dwayne Ransford, Councilman at Large, for voting no to overturn the mayor's veto of ordinance number 20-0003 for reimbursement for education and travel expenses for council members. I also give thanks to 2 former councilwomen who in 2017 voted no to give each council member an additional $3,000 for travel and education to go along with their salary/stipend of $42,000. Those were Brenda Walker from the 3rd District and Christine Vasquez from the 4th District, and current, this is 2017, current Councilwoman Gilda Orange from the 6th District. $42,000 is not your pay. All right, I understand that. It's a combination of your $18,000 salary, and I said this the last time, and the $24,000 stipend combined for travel, communications, office supplies, printers, etc. Now you have 24 scheduled meetings a year, and at 1 hour per meeting, and I got the agendas from last year, and all last year you spent 15, 16 hours in council at meetings. So some of them were 30-some, 33 minutes, some were hours, there was one 6-minute council meeting. All right, and I mark it all on my agenda when I'm there at the meeting. Now, if you take those 24 hours and divide them into $42,000, that's $1,750 an hour you're getting paid. All right, and you don't even have to be at the council meeting, you're still gonna get paid. Now, I'll throw in another 100 or so hours through the course of the year.
Got a minute left.
When you talk to your constituents, that still comes to $339 an hour you're getting paid for a part-time job. So it's just wrong for you, in my opinion, to give yourself another $3,000 when it's already included in your stipend pay, not just paid. All right, that's all I have to say at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez. Any other public comment?
Mr. President.
Yes, this is Ms. Winfield.
Yes.
Okay,
go
ahead, Ms.
I'm
Winfield.
thinking, I'm so busy thinking about council comments. Can I add a bit new business? I was gonna make an announcement, basically an announcement. That's all it was. Is it okay?
Go ahead, Ms. Winfield. Under this pandemic, this situation is pretty special, but go ahead.
Okay. Yes, I was wanting to make a challenge to my constituents, all council members. As you know, with our 2020 pandemic that's going on, our children, our high school seniors are going through a little rough time right now. And if you're on social media, you know that they had different people to ask residents to adopt a student. Well, what I want to do is I want to challenge each council person and encourage you to, in your district, to encourage the residents to decorate their porch on June 7th. June 7th is the East Chicago Central graduation. It's going to be a virtual graduation. They're going to do something at a later date, but June 7th, the children will be going through a virtual graduation. So I challenge you to get as many residents in your district to decorate their porches, whether it's with just a balloon in the red, white, and blue color, or streamers, or however, because you have many families that have graduates in your districts, and I'm sure you're probably going to see them decorate their homes. What I'm willing to do is I want to get in my district is get as many people to come together that will even let me tie a balloon on their porch, just to show support of our students in East Chicago. Not only in East Chicago, because we have children that live in our districts that may attend different high schools. I have some that attend Bishop Noel, and I have some that attend in Whiting. But the thing is that all the students are graduating. And I think if we could come together as a community to show our love and spirit behind our seniors, it would be great. So I do challenge you all, if you're not busy, if you can encourage your residents in your district to tie a balloon on the porch or streamers, just showing support that we are proud of our 2020 graduates, especially at East Chicago Central High School, since we are East Chicago Council members. If anyone would like to accept the challenge.
Ms. Winfield, Councilwoman Winfield, I thought that was going to be May 28th that Mr. Lane and Ms. Dieta Wright had decided. I know that the police department is involved and they're supposed to do some type of parade. Are we sure we got the right date?
Yes, well, the 28th is the end of the school year parade that they're going to do. What I was doing, because Central High School have placed, they have put signs at all the seniors that will be graduating. They have signs on their yards. And I was actually trying to push the seniors because of the graduation situation. So that date is actually June 7th that they'll have their virtual graduation, but May 28th is the end of the year, I believe, parade is my understanding, for the entire school district.
And I would just say that too, to make sure we're doing it within conjunction with the school, because then some kids will be left out, some districts will be left out. So, I mean, I think next Monday, maybe you could have a little bit more information on that.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Any other new business? Any public expression? Anybody else out there hearing this council meeting got any public expression? Hearing none, motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Moved by Councilman Hill, seconded by Councilman Monroe. Any questions on the motion to adjourn? Hearing none, roll call.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Franciski,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Winfield,
Yes.
Orange,
Yes.
Rancifer,
Yes.
Perez,
Yes.
Monroe,
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes. Oh, see you guys in next Monday, 6:30. Thank you.